Hey guys, just Gundam here with another custom Gundam MSI review, and today I'm reviewing my Federation supply vehicle, or support vehicle. The idea here is that there's a vehicle that can go into the front lines and re-equip and refuel mobile suits, wherever they are. I like to think up logical stuff like this, so mobile suits are busy on the front lines, they're pinned down, what brings them support, what brings them ammo? There's not a lot of things that can do that. So over the last year, I've been developing things like this. So I got my Resupply Magella attack tank right here, and it doesn't have a way to refuel Zaku's. Hopefully the reactors keep them running, but hey, at least it's got weapons. Lots and lots and lots of weapons. Some of the support vehicles that the Federation does have is the Type 61 tank, but there's not a way to really utilize it for support operations in terms of rearming and refueling. Same for the hover truck. You might be able to put a small tank on the back for refueling. You might be able to... you might even fit the tank that I got on my support vehicle. It'd weigh it down a lot, though. Fuel's heavy. And you can fit some ammo in there, but overall, the hover truck's not able to carry enough weaponry like the Magella attack tank. There is the mobile suit transport trailer, but those things really aren't made for very rough terrain. The only thing that might have a chance is the hover supply truck that my wife custom made me and Joey Bassett painted, and that's a good choice. But still, what else can get out there a bit faster, perhaps? So I came up with this. I've got lots of parts left over from G-Bulls and the G-Armor and stuff like that. I've been cannibalizing them for years for various things, and so I've ended up with a large box of parts left over, and so I've just been staring at them going, what can I build out of this? Tell me what you want to be! Finally it did. So we got the bottom of the G-Bull here. We got some bottom pieces from the G-Armor, and it was cut and glued here in the middle. Or not the middle, but right here. So that's a separate section. Mobile suit could sit on this if you took everything off, but I ended up gluing these pieces down just because I thought that was the best way to go. So I'm planning on building a second one of these, much to my wife's frustration, because she helped build this. She doesn't like producing things in quantity. She just doesn't. I do. I'm kind of crazy like that. So it's got the cockpit from, I believe, the Neros Gundam from G Gundam. This bottom vent piece is from a hover truck that we cannibalized for making the backpack for the Zaku Sniper, a work in progress. A little tiny piece that fits into it. I don't know what that is. There's also a piece that holds this, and that comes from the side piece of the G-Armor. These are from the... They look like maybe exhaust vents, but they're actually smoke grenade launchers. So in case somebody is refueling and they start to come under attack, it just shoots a bunch of smoke up into the air and just covers them all, so the enemy doesn't know exactly where they are. Those came from the beam rifle of the ground type Gundam, but not the front piece, because everyone loses the front piece. So I have a whole bunch of them without the front, barrel. So this is the further back piece of the barrel. I just cut those because I had a dozen of them and stuck them on there. This machine gun I think came from Micro Machines. I'm not really sure. It's a soft plastic. It used to turn, but it was just a smidgen loose. And I, being silly, put a little bit of super glue on it to make it a little tighter. I didn't super glue it in. It just made it more friction so it wouldn't fall out. Well, now it doesn't turn anymore. But at least I won't lose it, so that's good. This back vent is from a Wing Zero backpack. Found it just floating around my parts. This can hold a variety of weapons. It carries a Gundam version 2 bazooka, so that any GM can be equipped to, for some heavy firepower. It's got a holder right here. Get that out of the backpack of the Burning Gundam. And this beam rifle doesn't fit on there, but the is it? No, don't have one. The bullpup machine gun in this kind of area. This is not a bullpup machine gun, but it will fit on there. A little piece will just... So this can carry a bullpup machine gun along with other things. So like this. Totally works. Yeah. I knew that I designed this so that hopefully it would work with a variety of weapons. That was the goal. I'll move this back a little bit so the camera can focus better on it. There we go. There's 2 beam sabers, and these just plug in there. You gotta push them down really hard though, otherwise they'll get lost. There's just ground type Gundam beam saber hilts. Ground type Gundam backpack, this is glued on there, and of course it opens up. I always super glue my ground type Gundam backpacks together so that you can open it without it exploding. I'll explain that wire here in a minute. Has a shield from the 1.5 RX-78. Unfortunately, you can't fit the handle on there at the same time. Even without these ammo packs, it's still in the fit. So you gotta use a little bit of imagination. But that just can fit on there, and that's really nice. There's your beam spray gun. Bullpup machine gun would fit on the exact same way. These are 2 spare ammo packs from the ground type Gundam. Just took off some side pockets from a dead one. So that's nice. And this is a piece from the Noble Gundam's Berserk controller. I thought there should be a way to service the pilots, you know, to a degree. Give them food and things like that. Obviously, it doesn't do the full stretching or anything that one needs, and it's a little bit hampered by space, but if you're using your imagination, this thing should be able to straighten itself and go up higher or lower. It should be able to meander around all the rest of this here. And I think it just looks pretty cool. Because what's the point of supplying the mobile suits and supporting them if there's no support for the pilots? So here is the probably the coolest part in my opinion. There's a fuel tank. And this is the refueling wire. So a mobile suit would connect this wherever it goes, you know, and so now he can be refueling. And this tank I got as a leftover Type 61, no, sorry, that came from tank, N2 bomb from Evangelion. I drilled a hole through it, it didn't explode, praise God, and I put this wire through. Because the tank wouldn't be able to hold the entire wire, I drilled into the hover truck as well, using the cargo container to help hide the wire. So a mobile suit can refuel, it can have a bit of distance, and that way its thrusters are refueled for, you know, important combat, etc. If you've ever played Mobile Suit Gundam in the old PS2 games, possibly even the PS3 games, when you ran out of thruster, it was a sad day. Usually your thrusters refilled naturally, you know, so you just had to wait 10 seconds. But if you needed to get to the top of a mountain so you could continue doing battle, it was a serious inconvenience. And imagine if your mobile suit had nothing. It's just out of thrusters and you're down in a valley. You're just toast. You know, or a gully or a gulch, or have to try and climb out. It'd be really miserable. Of course, I don't know how this would get to you down there, but you know. In different ways. In some of the Gundam games, there is this weird, strange contraption that looks absurdly huge, and you're like wondering how it got there and what it actually does. And your mobile suit would go and it would kneel by it, and then it would get refueled, and then it would be able to go back out. Your ammo would be refueled. In Gundam Crossfire, it was one of these. But I wanted something that made a little more sense, rather than, oh, I just kneel by this strange contraption and I'm magically refueled. I mean, it's a video game, that's the way it has to work. But for animation, I wanted something that looked like it could do the job. I believe that this could do the job. Downside is it doesn't have a name. It just doesn't have a name. So if you guys have any ideas of names and you've survived the 10-minute review, well, please leave me some suggestions down below. I'll appreciate it. Let me know what you think. And I'll see you guys next time.